Welcome to this week's energy forecast. I am Rachel Thompson Phillips, the creator of the BU Oracle cards, along with the Sacred Oracle online program. This week's energy forecast is for January the 20th through till January the 26th. The overall theme for this week is that you are divinely protected. So let's go in and explore a little bit more. Monday and Tuesday is the card of limitations, which was also a jumping card. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of pathways, and the weekend's energies card is spiritual being. Let's go in and explore more around these gorgeous divine messages that come through the cards. Monday and Tuesday, the card being a jumping card. For people who don't understand what a jumping card is when a card jumps out of the deck as you're shuffling it, and the reason and purpose for that is that your soul is trying to convey a message to you that you may have overlooked, dismissed, or not actually really taken much notice of, but your soul is saying, hey, I really want you to take note of this message. The message behind the card of limitation is that thoughts of self-doubt, anxiety, and fears arrive as you become the closest towards your soul's growth. But what happens is, as we are growing and evolving and we get so close to our soul, I don't want to use the word ego, but that part of self that requires change jumps in and it says to you, I'm going to install this fear, doubts, and anxiety as a way to take you back to that safe zone. And as we know, we don't grow when we stay in the safe zone. But the soul is encouraging you to expand and grow, and it does that through bringing up these experiences, because each of these emotions draw out determination and motivation to succeed. And the only thing that is required is to be able to shift some of your limiting beliefs. Go in and explore your belief systems around the things that you are wanting to succeed in, and really explore what does that really mean for you. And this is that moment where we can draw out that absolute real raw honesty and transparency with self to go, you know what? Because you know the thing, fears and doubts only come to the surface when we're afraid of them. Yet the moment that we are consciously aware of them, the moment that we own them, is the moment that we can cultivate whole new ways of being within yourself, because you can't be afraid of something that you're already aware of. It just may bring up a physiological response within your body as in a fear-based, but we don't need to be able to respond to that. And this is where things start to become incredibly exciting this week. Because the moment that you own what it is, those fears and those doubts, is the moment that you stop responding to them. It's that moment of just going, oh, now I truly understand as to what's going on, or I understand why I have these fears, but do I actually believe them to be true for myself? And this is the exciting moment, because you're being encouraged to really go in and explore what your fears and doubts are, knowing that the purpose behind that is that huge evolution of soul growth, because you're getting so close to your soul that that human part of yourself is afraid, because it's afraid that if you completely unite with that soulful version of yourself, that you're not going to need that human part within itself. So it's an unsubstantiated fear coming to the surface, because we as humans know that we need to be able to have both parts, both parties, both the human part and that soulful place within ourselves. We can't have one without the other. And therefore, we understand that there are strengths and weaknesses in both of these gorgeous aspects within self, and just honoring both of those aspects within self, that they have their own strengths and weaknesses, can sometimes be the catalyst that just dissolves away some of those fears. But as you feel those fears come to the surface and you really go in and explore what is behind those emotions, therefore you'll be able to really shift into new ways of being, new ways of doing, and be able to set yourself up for the gorgeous new moon that we have on the 24th of January, which is on this Friday. So the more that you're aware of your fears and you can really claim them and really take ownership and responsibility for them, because you know what? Fears have their place, don't get me wrong. Fears are designed to protect us. Fears are designed there to ward us off from moving into the direction of danger. And the only reason that the human part within itself feels like there may be danger is because you're evolving and growing so much at such a beautiful, rapid rate. And so therefore, when we confront those fears, they no longer emotionally have a hold over you. So we can eliminate a lot of those fears and doubts that are coming up through Monday and Tuesday, because we know that our determination and motivation to succeed is so much stronger than those fears. Remember, fears are only stories that we tell ourselves. So sometimes those fears have sat there because you have had a previous experience in your life where you have had, been scared the shit out of because of fear. So it is designed there to help you. But when you are chasing dreams, you're moving towards success, it is also a completely natural part of the process for fears to come up. I always feel like, and this is just my belief, so I can only share with you my belief, is that every time those fears confront you, I have learned to connect the dots within my mind that goes, if I've got a fear coming up, that means that I am getting so close to achieving what I want. And that's a really great indicator for you to know that you are just on the other side of fear, ready to succeed in whatever those goals and dreams are that you're looking to achieve. And all of this conscious awareness that's brought in on Monday and Tuesday is setting you up for the gorgeous new moon, because we're clearing away things to be able to then harness this gorgeous new moon. And also by being really aware of your fears and also being consciously aware of that determination and motivation towards succeeding, what that does is that when you set your intentions for the new moon on Friday, January the 24th, you have absolute so much more clarity around why those dreams are so important for you. Why are those goals and aspirations and desires, why do they mean so much for you? And that is always, it's always an amazing time when you get to revisit the why that sits behind your goals, dreams, and aspirations. So that's Monday and Tuesday. Wednesday through till Friday is the card of pathways. Now, if you have a look at this card, you can see all of those gorgeous little compasses right there. And the message behind the pathways card is that you are on the right track. So as you can see, we have those fears and doubts where we kick in and move into a new gear around determination and motivation, and then completely reciprocated with being shown that we are on exactly the right track that we need to be in order to be able to achieve those things. And that's on a mind, body, soul, and spirit. So it's also a really good time to consider if anything takes you out of alignment. What is it, and is it actually important to you, and do you need to be able to keep that, or can you also clear that as well, creating a gorgeous new space leading towards the new moon? So as you know, a new moon is about setting powerful intentions, and in order to set powerful intentions, we need to have absolute clarity around what it is that you want to be able to plant the seed with, because the new moon, although it is this an amazing time of manifesting abundance, prosperity, and wealth, it's also about planting the seeds. So sometimes you may not see the progress of your intentions immediately, but don't think for a moment that they're not budding underneath the surface, because using the analogy of harvesting, when you plant a seed, you must water it. So watering it is about keeping your mindset on track, revisiting your why those things that you want to achieve are so important to you, making sure that you're embodying the very thing, making sure that your energy is tuned into the frequency of the thing that you want. And they're all things that we do underneath the surface as we water that seed. And then by following through with amazing inspired action is where we start to see the evidence start showing up of your intentions. So as I said, if you find that maybe your intentions aren't showing up immediately, don't give up. Keep watering that seed so that it can blossom into a gorgeous flower, which is also that gorgeous reminder that you're on the right track. So tune into that gorgeous intuitive information that's coming through. If you get the feels about something, then follow that guidance, explore that more as to what is that intuitive information that's coming through. Also remember that your soul is there to guide you every single step of the way. So if you're not sure about something, ask the question, is this the right pathway for me? Is this in alignment towards my goal? Is this energy going to be an attraction magnet towards making sure that my manifesting potential increases? And therefore know that the answer is going to come back to you very, very quickly. So look out for the signs and synchronicities through Wednesday and Friday, most definitely. Which leads us through to the weekend's energy, which is the spiritual being, which is understanding, as I mentioned with the limitations, that we have this human aspect and this spiritual version of self. And both of them coincide in one gorgeous vessel, which is your body. And this is the time, as you can see, that the spiritual being comes after the pathways, also comes after that new moon, is about honoring that spiritual vessel within you, being able to honor that your soul is guiding you every single step of the way. Also honoring that the universe is also showing up to present signs and synchronicities for you to help cultivate beautiful new belief systems that start to embody everything, the frequency for all the things that you want to manifest. Now, this is a moment where we want to start considering, how do we do things that are out of the box? You know, there is no point thinking, and this is also an incredibly great week to be creative, to tune into that sacral chakra, which you can see in the Pathways card, the orange. The sacral color in the Pathways card leading up to the new moon is about being creative. Remember, there is always more than one way to achieve anything, and there is always more than one way in which to be able to express all of your amazing skills, talents, and innate wisdom that sits within you. Don't always think that you are confined to be able to explore your aspirations and the things that you want to manifest in these boxed, confined spaces, because all that does is just chokes your soul. If you're being intuitively guided to do something completely out of the box, that's different than anyone else, then remember, that's exactly what the world is needing. They're sick and tired of seeing the same things present themselves over and over and over again. People are wanting to really expand and to try new things. People are so much more open to new ways of doing things, new ways of being within their own self. So if you are guided towards exploring the things that you want to manifest in a completely out of the box way, remember, always follow that intuitive guidance. Now, as we come towards a gorgeous new moon, it's also a really important time to consider about what are some of the tasks that you have left undone that need to be tidied up before Friday. The one thing that is so, has something that has always been something I've always been very, very conscious of, and I really want to share this to you, is about as we lead towards new moons, it's about being able to bring forward the most open, flexible, soft and gentle yet powerful energy around what it is that you want. Now, sometimes when the mind becomes so busy around things, some of the greatest ways in which to be able to clear that energy is to go around and start cleaning up your household. Get rid of things that you don't need. You may feel like you feel tuned in to be able to do a spring clean in your house or go through your wardrobe and get rid of shit. You may feel like you want to, what's the thing that I'm looking for? as I mentioned a moment ago, going through and having a look at what are some of those tasks that you've always wanted to get done, but you've left it in the background. And it's sort of a bit like tax time. You always know you need to get your tax ready, but somehow you always seem to drag your feet around getting it done. And yet the moment that you're done, you're like, oh my God, that's like a weight lifted off my shoulders. That same principle is being encouraged to be fulfilled leading up to this new moon. Go through and tidy things up, clean them up, shift the energy within your environment, around your home, within your own self, and therefore you start to find that you have shifted energy on a mind, emotional, and energy level through Monday and Tuesday by cultivating new belief systems. We then move into that soul and spiritual level on that energetic frequency by cleaning up the energy within your environment, your home, because every single cell within your body is an energy frequency. It's picking up energy all the time. So if you've got disruptive energy within your house, if you feel like, things need to be cleaned up and tidied up, you may feel inclined to go around and do a sage cleansing or a spring cleaning. All of these are shifting their environmental energy so that the energy within your environment then starts to become this beautiful match for the energy within your own self. We've really been encouraged this week to make sure that we are embodying the very thing that we want to be able to manifest. So it's also a really good time to sit there and visualize those aspirations, dreams, desires, and goals that you want, and really feel into them. Not just think about them, but move into the feels zone where you feel that you have achieved it and it's already manifested and showing up in your reality now. And this is something that will also continue that determination and motivation to cultivate new belief systems, to cultivate new levels of conscious awareness around attracting abundance, wealth, and prosperity into your world, and anything else that you want to be able to see show up in your world as tangible things. This is the time to start being really explorative, creative, and tuning into your soul and asking the question of, what is it that I can do to embody my dreams and goals? But now remember, in order to be able to ask that question, we need to also have absolute clarity around what your dreams and goals are. So as I mentioned at the start of the week, by going in and exploring your fears will help you unlock and give you that conscious awareness to be at peace with where your fears are at, and being able to see those as that catalyst for you to understand that you are so close to achieving them. And through facing those fears and that it helps you to call in and claim your dreams, goals, and desires, because that motivation and determination gets kicked in. And therefore, by visualizing that and continuing that throughout the week is only enhancing and helping you to stay in that embodiment, that energetic frequency of the thing that you want to be able to manifest. And not just that, it's a really cool, wicked tool that you can use at any given time. And this is something that we shouldn't only just utilize as we lead towards a new moon, but this can become a daily practice that you can do to reinstate that those dreams, goals, aspirations, and desires are manifested and they are here in the reality. So when you think about that, think about who is that version of self that needs to show up if you've already manifested the very thing and it's in your current reality. What is the mindset of that version of self that has manifested what it wants? How will you feel and how will you want to continue feeling on a consistent basis when those things, when they're already showing up in your reality? And then what is it that you are going to do within your own self to recognize that it is you that is attracted and brought these things in through your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, and your actions? Because dreams don't just show up unless you do. So you've always got to make sure that you're doing the action, and the action is in taking the physical steps and achieving things, but it's also about the actionable steps of doing the inner work. And this week we're being really called to go in and do that inner work. So I wish you all an incredibly amazing week. Please find that if you would like to be able to have a new moon intention setting workbook, you will find a link below where you can go and download the free workbook for you, so that you can sit there and start working out and getting really crystal clear on what it is that you want to manifest this month. And remember, just think outside of the box. Clean up any tasks, clean up your environment energetically. If you feel called to go in and do a sage cleansing, just tune into what feels right for you. And know that your soul and your cosmic team, which is your soul, the human part of self, and the universe is always working cohesively to help you achieve anything that you can think of. So much love. Take care, and please feel free to tag or share anyone you think would love to hear this message. Have an amazing week.